It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, deadly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. 13 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police.
So, you didn't get a clear look at the criminal?
My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural.
I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening.
Well, Sir Old-Timer, let me explain. We are not speaking of any ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, the great Master Mask, my arch enemy! That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me.
Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. This guy bores me.
You're a pee-pee.
That's it. I'm holding him in contempt.
It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. The date changed.
So that would be 1 o'clock on the morning of the 12th, correct?
That's an impressive deduction, sir lawyer.
How's that impressive? I'm just stating the obvious. Police showed up on the 12th. You're saying it happened at 1 a.m. that morning. Got it. 1 a.m. on the 12th? You were on security duty that night. Where exactly were you at the time?
A penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse near the computer.
Near the computer, huh?
So then, you weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it?
Up to this point, I've tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief.
Yeah, you said the same thing yesterday, too.
She also said that they've never spotted the thief at the crime scenes before. Precisely! That is precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that by not concealing myself, I would be putting pressure on the thief.
Looks like the thief was the one applying pressure. On your pigeony head, that is. Bagok!
In any case, that's not what a pigeon sounds like. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. That's what pigeons sound like, because they're robots! There are cameras everywhere! That's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, dancingly descended upon me.
Dancingly descended? From where exactly?
Well, of the interest, I suppose. What else?
So in actuality, you neither danced nor descended. Someone please save me. So how is it that you didn't notice the thief?
My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow, while my ears listened for his footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak up on me. It can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft-soled shoes.
And he kissed me.
It was a lovely kiss.
And I hereby dub you a stunts.
Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head.
You didn't see the criminal's face when that happened?
Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That's all I can recall.
That's not very solid as far as testimony goes.
However, fortunately, I had my third monocle, the security camera, at my ready. It captured his image perfectly. That should be sufficient, I believe.
His clothes don't look torn.
But
Come on, game creators.
But there was torn etchings on the brooch. Torn off.
Well, as long as this photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Well, Mr. Godo, do you have a problem with the photo?
I'm gonna ship blood.
Good, then let's continue with the testimony.
Doctor swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone.
Like my late girlfriend. She was running behind and it's just late getting home.
I see.
She's not dead. Or an ex. She was just late that day and I woke up and she wasn't there and I was like, oh god!
I forgot to tell you. I ordered 2 hits today.
Attacked and knocked unconscious. And you weren't able to do a thing? That's certainly some very impressive detective work.
Well, sir, lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head?
Yes. Huh? Well, actually, yes. By a fire extinguisher.
And what happened?
I was knocked out.
And you lost your memory, too. You see, you have no right to look down on me there, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory was because I have more brains to begin with.
You may have brains, but the wiring to the self-reflection part seems to be severed.
In any case, that was how I was knocked senseless. And then 13 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police.
About this 30 minutes.
My silver cord was loosened, and my soul fled to the golden halls of Elysium. As usual, I have no idea what this guy is saying.
He's acting like he's a gladiator.
Yeah. I watched the film 5 times.
I think he's saying that he was out cold. I got knocked out and out of nowhere I was walking through a wheat field.
So, what happened during these 30 minutes?
He was walking through a wheat field.
That one could say, Your Honor. That span of time has truly vanished into the ether.
Just what is he going on about?
There's something suspicious about Detective Happney. How could he not have noticed when the thief came in?
Also, he says he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back, but that can't be right. Contradicts the evidence.
Huh? Which piece?
The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie?
Okay. What's the obvious lie? I turned off the smell illusion. You can't.
Okay. Show me the evidence.
Yep.
I always go evidence first.
Don't care about the. Well, it was moved in the night time. Don't care about that. This is the symbol.
Okay.
Take good care of
I'm
the speckle there.
thinking sword. I'm thinking sword.
Sword. Abby was knocked out with a blow to the back of the head. The blackmail letter. Well, here's the photo.
So as of right now, my obvious lie that I'm seeing is he got hit in the back of the head, but he had time to turn around and see them all. Or was it he got hit and then as he was falling?
Well, it says right here, just as I began to turn, so I'm in the process of turning. Then he struck a fierce blow up on my noble head. And then the brooch. It looks like it was torn off of some clothing.
Is it gonna be the fact that he says he could have fought back and then the brooch was ripped off? Showing that there was a struggle?
You're wrong!
I hope I am.
Okay.
Mr. Atme, can you take a look at this with the special monocle of yours?
Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind. My arch nemesis, Master Mask!
Thank you.
It is, in point of fact, Master Mask's brooch!
Yes, we know this. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened.
Ha! Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough.
Who the fuck glues a brooch on? Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off of a piece of clothing.
Ripped off? Ah, that's what that barista just did to me.
I'm not a barista, Your Honor. Although I do make some coffees.
That'll be $18 for that cup.
Yeah.
We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night.
Why do you think I got a second job?
That's the only
prosecuting stuff.
The
and for the coffee.
Coffee's a side hustle.
Yeah.
That's where I make my big bucks too. The only thing I can think of doesn't shock me because in fact it's like what, a 200% increase on price.
Yeah. What do you want? Cappuccino? Mocha latte? Shh! Don't let the owner see.
And there's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night? You, Detective Atme! Oh, his nose didn't grow longer. That's a shame.
Oh.
I thought I was right. I thought it was Pinocchio.
Behold.
He looks like a creation of Guillermo del Toro.
I don't believe he was created by Guillermo del Toro.
No, but the Pinocchio movie that was.
Okay, one movie.
One great movie.
Okay, yeah. The other one's all shite.
Have you seen the original?
Yes. Alright.
Where were you for Snow White's PR?
Here. Editing. I didn't have time. They didn't ask me.
Could have had. Have you seen the original Snow White? Yeah, it's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
What about it? It's good. Zegler shows up. Right? Is it Zegler? Maybe
Yeah,
Zegler?
Rachel Ziegler.
Ziegler. He just shows up. Ah, shit, it's awful. It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's out of date. What the fuck are
Yeah.
you doing?
You're breaking my contract.
Detective Atman. Yeah, I know. There might actually be a legal suit between them now. Detective Atme, you must have fought with the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court?
Witness! Giving false testimony is a serious crime!
No! Just wait just a moment, Sir Old Timer.
Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home! I'm about to shit my britches!
I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately.
The true measure of a man is in the amount of work he does. That's what I always say.
Dick, you can only handle one case at a time. Isn't that right?
Fired.
Do that to me.
Get out.
I
I
have nowhere else to
I'm doing what Amber should have done to hers. Get out.
I have nowhere else to
You
go.
talk too much.
Okay.
Witness! So are you now saying that you and the thief fought?
Hold on. That's quite enough. Your Honor.
Oh, I was hoping the coffee would come in on the last line. Damn it!
Excuse me?
Yeah!
Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules.
I'm gonna hate when he drinks, but I'm gonna love every time he gets a coffee tossed to him.
Indeed! I understand. I, Luke Acme, agree completely.
Fight with the thief. Yes, he fought with the thief.
Indeed! It's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, Luke Acme cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true, bam! And that's all she wrote.
Am I noticing this? Right? Do you hunch down more when you're doing his voice?
Yes. Well, I get in character. Sometimes I like have my hand on the side and I like relax a bit when I'm playing Godo. I'm quite stiff and like proper around Edgeworth. I'm like clenching my fist when I'm playing Francisca. I do these things.
All of the only times that stuff, it's all in my hands. It's
Yeah.
never in my body. It's all hand work.
But look at me, it's like a gremlin.
I know, it's like a. That's why out of the corner of my eye, I noticed you got lower, and I was like, huh?
A man's gotta get into character.
So, in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Master Mask?
Correct. It was during his third climb that he struck me from behind. It seemed that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak.
Well, that's certainly understandable. I, myself, always get confused about which testimony goes with which case.
That can't be good.
Fight with a thief. Indeed, it is true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment.
So why did you look away from the door anyway?
In addition to the camera, I had prepared a variety of other sensors as well. The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to go check the data. That's why I went to the computer. Elegantly, of course.
Skippy. So you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on the computer. What should I do? There's more questions? About the sensor. Could you tell the sensors to fuck off?
He doesn't mean that, does he? You don't mean that, do you?
What kind of sensors are you talking?
There are other places in the basement that someone could enter and exit from. There are air conditioner ducts, sewer pipes, and a cat door as well. I hooked up heat detecting, infrared, and ultraviolet sensors to each of them.
It's a lot of hardware. Is it all yours?
Yardley Taylor Department Store was kind enough to provide the monitoring hardware. Naturally, the security camera that took the photo belongs to them as well.
In other words, he couldn't have rigged the equipment, huh?
Has that cleared up any doubts you had about me, sir lawyer?
You dumbass. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo.
How about hurry up? I want to ask about the computer. So did that computer belong to Lordly Taylor as well?
Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. That was specially designed by me. Look at me.
So that's why it didn't work. I mean, in that case, he could have easily manipulated the data.
Let's run, sir lawyer.
However, look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated.
He did it in one swing. What does that mean, discombobulated?
Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean.
Sorry, but what exactly does it mean? Anyway.
Well, now I've forgotten. What was I saying?
Jeez, it's better than old people who forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago. Preach, brother, preach.
Well, looks like we cleared that up. You could go on with your testimony. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed the weapon from the side and rendered me senseless.
What do you mean by a weapon from the side?
Naturally, that thief had no idea if I, look at me, was hiding in the area. He grabbed a sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse.
Sword? You mean the sword that was all twisted like a tree branch?
Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp.
Okay. He is talking about the Shichishido. It's a miracle that word came out. So the
thief armed himself with a sword, and what about yourself, witness? You just hold up your fists and go, bring it on, bring it on.
You took a Chitachito? A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough.
You had that much faith in your own fighting abilities.
But of course, in college, I was the second in charge of the boxing club.
I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive.
However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch nemesis, Master Mask.
This guy's a real piece of work. So far, the only character that works when I yawn is the judge.
His first blow shook true bam, and that's all she wrote.
Can you tell us a little more about what happened?
My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powerlicious.
Power issues.
I assumed the at-me fighting stance, but the sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me.
What do I do now? Ask more about this? You know what, how does that fighting sound? Tell me about that fighting sound. Go ahead. What is the at-me fighting style?
I'm sorry, but that's a trade secret. I really can't say anymore.
Is it call up and defeat him with this?
I suppose I could tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way, no one can get behind you.
That's it? That's the at-me fighting style?
Well, Mr. Red, what about that testimony?
It was important. Of course it's important. We've learned a detective's secret technique after all.
Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night.
What the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out.
I'm gonna kill you.
Bye.
Now then, when you're next. We'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony.
I put my back to the wall to fight, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye.
But you were struck in the back of the head. Why would you? Huh? Sir, you were hit in the back of the head, not the front of the head. Nobody cares about how big your forehead is, or how stupid your monocle is.
Well, hey, calm down, dude.
Or how awful your suit is.
That's all right.
But especially that monocle.
Where's this third eye you're talking about?
Oh, it's right between my right and left eyebrows. It's quite invisible to the unenlightened. You may call it the forehead if you like.
He lifts it up and there's just like a monocle taped to it. Why did you just say that in the first place?
Sir, liar! It looks like the creases in your own forehead or getting deeper.
So Miss Abby got hit on the forehead then.
That's what he says.
I've got a funny feeling about that.
Yeah, please, game, spell it out for me just before.
Funny feeling about that.
Actually, so do I.
Well, what do you think, Nick?
Well, there's one thing that I'm absolutely sure of.
Now, yeah? What is it?
This Luke at me guy, he's definitely hiding something.
Why?
I think I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night. And about the true nature of this detective.
Did it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you got it.
What? No way. It couldn't have been that easy. Detective Atme, your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards.
Kevin Spacey. Wait, what fun this is, Sir Lawyer.
You can't say that in here.
It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet.
God, the Hollywood FBI are on their way. You said the sacred name. We can't. It's forbidden. I believe this is what you said yesterday.
No! The coward must have wormed his way through somewhere besides the door. The night arch nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here.
A wiener.
His penis!
Got mushroom stamped.
From behind, huh?
But just now, testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. It should still hurt, actually.
It seems I've made another mistake.
Luke, could you touch the back? Detective Abby, could you touch the back of your head? Yeah, that's what I thought. Drenched in blood. Now, Jury in the stands, I'll have you note. He's either collapsed from loss of blood or he's having an aneurysm. One of these is savable, the other one is death no matter what.
I don't have any other witnesses. Good job, Trite. You win.
Detective Abney,
I'm going home.
that's not the only strange part of your testimony.
Well, what do you mean by that?
For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card for the police itself is strange. I'm gonna keep you on it. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security.
Geniuses such as myself has always been misunderstood. How sad.
See how I said it? Kind of. He does fit the description of it. Could have just been him. I'm sure we'll be proven wrong, but we want to keep it open. He's a suspect. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Oh man, you got a nice deep voice.
To err is human. To forgive divine. Humans aren't machines. They have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love. They hate. And yes, they even make mistakes.
They even participate.
Yeah. Fun facty. So in the Japanese version, the objection voice clip from Phoenix is Shu Takumi, the writer and creator. But the voice clip of Godo is Hideki Kamiya, the creator of Devil May Cry and Bayonetta.
And while creating Bayonetta, he's like, we're firing her. We're not bringing her back.
Oh, but he didn't voice Bayonetta.
Oh, I know he didn't voice her. I was making a joke about how they let her go.
But what if he did?
He's probably the one behind her who said, nope, you're not coming back, lady.
Yeah.
So all the fans gonna be like, what?
But it was her fault.
Hey, hold on. Ete ispe abade. It's not as pretty as that.
Really? What's it like then?
That was a lot of coffee that shot up for that kind of slam.
I always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules.
No spillage too. That's pretty impressive.
He's a coffee master.
He's a coffee maniac. Get the wording right if you're gonna use it.
Sorry.
You're next on the chopping block if you don't fix your attitude.
I'm just here to perform.
This is it. Might just be my chance to turn things around.
Mr. Wright, what exactly is that you're asserting?
Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that... Ooh. Oh. Yabba dabba doo. Which one am I thinking? He's a suspect, that is true. But is he really a suspect? Maybe he just sucks. He's no ace. Well, no, he is not. He's not. That's right. That is true. That one is true.
But is it important?
No! You've got me!
Okay, so it's either he's a fake or he is masked mask.
Is the person on the stand right now, is that guy's name Luke Abney?
Hey, that's what he said. I have no reason not to believe it. He's the mask! The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. I see everything. Detective Luke Abney's true identity is actually Mask the Mask.
I need my water. I'm on this spot.
Would have been better with like a yeah. Wait, what? That's not what you thought he was gonna say.
Order! Order in the court, Mr. Wright! What is the meaning of this?
There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atme's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scenes, which is why—
Damn it! I missed it!
My alarm went off, sorry, Your Honor. Which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure.
That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked, and in order to arrive at the... I destroyed your controller! Now you cannot continue to play. You cannot continue to play the game.
I got it.
Hey! You fool. No, you didn't. Oh, please. The explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atme. The truth is that you are, in fact, Master Mask. Stop doing that. I can see so far up that nose.
But Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows Master Mask.
Yeah, how's he fit that nose under that mask?
Don't worry about that part.
I do. You just like bend it down, bend it up.
Yeah, I think bend it up. You can roll it.
He's got like curtain rolls.
Yeah.
His security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor department store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn.
So, the ace detective is actually an ace thief! Is this true, witness?
Master Maskimo is pure genius, and so am I! You got me, ace detective! You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, sir lawyer.
What? Witness, you're admitting it?
Dick, now's your chance!
Yes, time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atme, when you assumed the address... He threw shit at me.
Yoto Blend 102. My personal favorite.
Why is it so sticky?
Mr. Godo.
The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true.
But, Mr. Godo, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I
will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt. Mr. Trite, if this detective really is the thief, then show us the proof of your claim.
The sweat coming from his face.
But it better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face.
Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. Be a man. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have quickly.
Huh? Oh. Yes, of course. What's the big rush?
Are you a redneck?
Emmy looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. But can I really do it? Decisive evidence that proved Mr. Luke Atme is, in fact, Master Mask.
We'll find out in...
No!
Thank you for watching this episode of Tribulations, Tribulations, subscribe to which is...
No!
Bye!